guys? How are y'all doing? Happy Father's Day. Recently I was looking through my YouTube. I got on a computer and I kind of figured out how to look at where I get a lot of my views from. And I was kind of surprised. I get a lot of views from the United Kingdom, Iraq, Russia, Canada, a lot of countries. And it made me start to think about, you know, what do some of these people, obviously I've got guys that are trying to learn how to tint windows watching my videos. And like I said, it brought me to a point of where I wanted to think about the potential of what these people have that they're working with, that they're trying to learn. And I know a lot of people probably and maybe don't have large backboards and cutting machines and so on and so forth. So it brought me to the idea of pulling my 350R in and maybe just cutting out a couple doors just to go over the open framed doors from the window tinting perspective. And yeah, that's what we're going to do today. And it's going to be ultra basics, no peel boards, no machines, off the roll, and try to get to what maybe some of you guys, how y'all are trying to learn how to do window tinting. Maybe it's just for tinting your own cars, your friends, so on and so forth, and maybe not necessarily running a business. So today what we're going to do is we're just going to, I'm just going to cut out patterns by hand, do a little bit of shrinking on this 350, and just to try to show y'all just tinting these windows from the most simplest standpoint as possible. So watch these videos, enjoy, and if it helps, like and subscribe. I'm also coming to the realization, because YouTube several years ago demonetized me because of my gun content on my channel. So I am going to start putting a PayPal address in the bottom of my videos. And if you want to contribute 50 cents, $1, $2, whatever, it's all appreciated, because these videos are honestly for y'all so that y'all can learn and it can help y'all. And if you really think that these videos help you, throw 50 cents in there, throw $1 in there. It's much appreciated. So without further ado, let's get to doing some window tint on this car. All right, I'm gonna offer up my 350 for this basically demonstration. First things first, on these cars with open frame windows, they seem like they give y'all new guys a little bit of a hassle. I think if you approach it simply, y'all will be able to easily get these taken care of. So what you have to do is, if these windows, on most vehicles that have an open frame window, they have a trigger on the windows, meaning you roll it up, you close the door, the window's gonna roll up. So whether it be actuated on the body or the door, actuate your door window or your door frame so you can roll it up, and there you go, it's now been rolled up. So as I told y'all, I'm gonna cut this right off the roll, old school style. As old school as you can get right here, man. Most tint places now, if they're from a production standpoint, they're going to have a machine where you do not have to do this anymore. But this is about you guys. So when you're doing window tint like this, obviously first, let's go ahead and get the window cleaned down. Now, let me reiterate, this is not going to stay on this particular car. I'm on the fence. I don't know if I want to tint this car at all. I've had this car for probably, I don't know, 6, 7 months now. And it's not been a rush for me at all to try to tint the windows. All right, that's a halfway decent angle there, I'd say. All right, so we're gonna re-wet this window again. test film being used is, of course, some Lumar window film, but we're going to use some 35. It's pretty light, way lighter than I'd probably put on any one of my cars. I don't know, I may use some of this on my eg6. So we're going to just off the roll it out until we know that we have complete coverage of the window, which you can see we do. We have complete and total coverage. We see the angle that y'all are at. All right. So what I like to do, first thing, is I like to come in, and I know I'm covered. Covered down here, covered on the side. Yes, you can go in if you want to, throw yourself a little tack right there just for insurance purposes. That's fine. That ain't gonna hurt nothing. So what I'll do first is I need to put a new blade on there. What I do if I'm on this side of the vehicle, I will start very first. And you can, what I highly recommend is first, remove all your excess, so you have less floppy material bumping around. So now we've got it cut down to there, okay? So I'm gonna come, let me make sure you're gonna be able to see the beginning of the front of this. I'm gonna jump into the furthest most part of this window here. I'm gonna plunge into the film on the glass. One clean swipe all the way across the top. Now, it doesn't matter if you want to do this cut here first or second or this cut. Really don't make a difference, in my opinion. It's all personal choice. So they're both okay and acceptable. So I'm going to come in to the furthest most point on the front edge right there. I'm going to come into the furthest most point right here. I'm going to plunge in. Make that cut all the way across there. I want to show you something. Again, as I've done before. Where are you at in the camera? That's how much blade I've got out. That's it. All right. So I've made that bottom cut right there. I'm going to remove the excess material. Now is we're going to cut off this front edge right here. We're just going to follow that right up. All right. Same thing as I do put my blade, I do put my knife right up on the rubber with no blade out of the knife. So I'm going to start it. A lot of times I just do a dry run like this. I don't know why I do it, but I do, just to kind of see where I'm going to go, to get a feel of what I'm going to cut. So I'll put it in the furthest most corner in there. I extract some blade and make a cut. There's my cut right there. Okay, and you can see in the video I've got a tad bit overhang there. That's okay, or a little bit extra from where I cut this angle and this angle, and that can be trimmed on your glass, on your board. Don't make a difference. Let's look at this back edge here. So we've got the back edge. What I will do is I take a lot of my blade, pull it out of the knife, and I'll usually start like right up here, and I just run that edge. There we go. Now let me show you, I'm going to get real up close to the edge to show you what it's going to look like. So there can be some cleanup work on that edge, and that's okay. So I'm gonna pull it off of there, and I'm gonna show you how to clean up your edge. Now mind you, we're not gonna use a peel board, we're not gonna use any of that stuff. So first things first is, I'm gonna remove that tint off of there, and I'm gonna use my door glass as the peel board for say. So if I'm gonna use that as my peel board, common sense is gonna tell you, snap that blade and make sure it is fresh, because you surely don't want to use a blade that you've already cut with on this glass, any glass. So I'm gonna come in and I'm just gonna clean this edge up ever so slightly. And it doesn't need much. There's that edge. All right, next thing, we're gonna do the same with that front edge that I told you is gonna have a little bit of extra hanging off it. Now mind you, I've got this tint sitting on the door. So get it up there to where you have a safe little area to do some more trimming on that. Snap that blade, guys. You're cutting on your car glass. Here we go. While you're at it, round this front edge up just a hair. Also, bring the back side of your window film up, and we've got the bottom rear corner. There's the bottom rear corner. Clean that little guy up too. Do you have to do that? No. Do I recommend it? 100%. Why? When you have nice, blunt, round edges, you have less chance of peel up. So, there we go. We've got that rounded up. So our pattern is looking really, really good. I'm gonna back you up because I'm gonna shrink this window. So, no torching, none of that stuff, because we wanna do this as basic as possible. This is for you guys that are in your garage that maybe just want to tint your car, or you're maybe just starting off. Let's go to the basics. So I'm going to re-wet that window. Now this tint, I'm going to bump it up just a hair off the bottom edge. When I say a hair, I mean just a hair, guys. So we are bumped up there. Now, tension, tension, tension. I'm gonna take all of this business up here, I'm gonna bring it around to the bottom. So I'm gonna start in the middle and break up that window. I'm gonna pull that way to the right, bring it around. By doing this, we should start seeing these fingers get larger because we've taken this tension up here and we're pulling it around to the bottom. So I'm going to come over here, I'm going to pull, and there's our fingers are now disappeared on the top side. And I'm holding tension, and I'm forcing all my tension to the bottom. So let's see if you can see that in the camera. Yes, you can. So here we go with some shrinking. Very simple. When you do open frame windows, I highly suggest to do as thorough as a shrink job as you can. And why is that? Because this is an open frame window. Now, on open frame windows that have no upper frame, the rubbers tend to be tighter down below. So you're going to fight those fingers down below more than you would on a standard framed window. Alrighty, so we have got this to a position to where I believe it's ready to be installed. Now again, we are going to use this glass that you're seeing here as the peel board. I'm going to take this film, just slightly, let me re-lubricate the window. I'm going to set this up here, and right there it's ready to be removed and peeled. I'm going to kick this door open, bring you around here. Alrighty, so now what we're going to do, we are going to come in, clean that glass. Now you may ask, why cut that straight out? The reason for that is this. You cut out straight out of the back edge, all that. What's going to happen with that film when you go to install it? Now it's going to sit a little bit lower than that top edge, right? So you're going to create a gap on the top. So what's that do? It puts more film going at the bottom. Also, you need a gap in the rear. So what's that do? It pushes film forward just a hair. So now we've got film down lower. We've got film down forward, so it's going to give us a tuck up front, and we should be able to have a very nice clean edge here on the top, clean edge here on the back. The film basically is going to come from this point and come down just like this to create a gap here and to create a gap there, what should give us a tuck up front so we have no light, and then a good edge on the bottom. These Shelbys have the rubber on the outside is significantly higher than on the inside, so it should make for a very easy installation. So we've already razor bladed it. The key to doing this is no matter how well you clean this, you can mess it up that quick on the outside by pulling the tint off if you don't know what you're doing, because you're peeling off of a car, basically. All right, right there you can see. So what I'm going to do is, first thing is make sure you just absolutely just don't come over here and douse this. So I'm going to just get the edge peeled up, which it's done. We're peeled. Now the big thing is I don't want water from up here running down onto my film. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to set the bottom end first, all the way across. I'm going to take a look at the front. Now we obviously know that that gap right there is not going to stay. We got a little bit of sticking happening here. We got it broke loose there. This is the back edge that the customer is going to be the most aware of. Checking it. I want to see what y'all look like y'all are seeing. Alrighty. Weight it down. I'm going to start at the middle to get me a hard tack. I'm going to run straight down. I'm now putting pressure outwards. As always, clean up your mess after you've got that window tinted. Now this procedure will work on pretty much every open frame window, Mustangs, the Shelbys, the gt350s, so on and so forth, from 2015 all the way up to 2019, I believe. Clean this outside window off. I'm going to get y'all off this tripod so we can get nice and close up on this window. Let's look at it from the outside. What the customer is going to really see. A couple little specks in it that we can heat up. Ah, those lights are just killing it in here. So there you go, guys. Hope this helps y'all out. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.